As we know, Pokemon just entered its 30-year anniversary, and I decided to do a Leaf Green run, and I'm going to progress through all of the Pokemons that are out there in order to really get the feel of the 30 years it's been around. And I decided to do Leaf Green first. Now, I know Blue and Red were the originals, but here we are playing something that I like, the game that I grew up with, which was Leaf Green, even though I had Fire Red. I am a grass type person. I love my grass type and my bug type, so I decided to go with Leaf Green. But yes, we picked Squirtle instead of the Bulbasaur and a Charmander, even though I think Charmander is highly overrated. We decided to go with that. But what's worse than losing your first battle to your rival? It's losing to a damn bug catcher. Now, I'm telling you, I thought I had it in the bag. But nope, I got this Weedle and got completely strashed. This Weedle, I'm telling you, it took almost 4 hours, it felt like, to level up to something. Because I'd be grinding in the grass and still be getting clipped. Like how embarrassing it is to lose not only to your rival the first off, but also to a freaking bug catcher. Like, come on, look at the way this man dresses. Are you kidding me? But anyways, I come back and I'm ready to, I grinded up a little bit, got my, got old Blue, our Squirtle here, leveled up. You know, the Weedle did its thing, I still survived, you know, we just tacked it in. You know, we used that Bubble Beam and scored the score. We didn't get no crits because, you know, Blue over here struggling to be Blue, and then he gets freaking poisoned. Like, what the hell is that? What are we doing here? You know, this game I started to realize that this game just doesn't like me, you know. It's like, okay, you're going to pick Leaf Green. Well, this is what happens when you pick a blue starter. You're going to lose. But luckily, we went to level 10, got a little bit of a weakness. We learned Withdrawal, which probably never going to freaking use. They're like, oh, well, let's use a Caterpie. Now look at my Brown. Look at Weedle over here. Struggle bus. And I think this is where we barely made it. Yeah, we barely made it. And you know what? We're like, okay, let's grind it up. Let's grind up my Weedle here. You know, because it's like, okay, you know, I have to do something if I want to get anywhere in this game. And at this point, it's like, I forgot that you could speed up the emulator because I'm using an emulator, you know. That's what I do. I do things to where this game is not a monotonous trudge through this whole entire video, you know. So I decided to be like, you know what, I'm gonna figure it out. But after I level up Brown, which he completely dies, lets me down again, so I have to throw Blue out there. And it's like, at this point, why do I even have a Weedle? Oh, right, it's because I wanted to achieve the Beedrill, because Fury Attack is what we needed. I just needed Fury Attack. All right, so here we are. We gotta go rush back to the Pokemon Center, and like I said, I don't have the speed boost on, but here we go. After about a couple of hours grinding, it felt like, we finally got Brown into a Kakahuna, as that's how you pronounce it, the Kakahuna. But yeah, we have him in a fine chrysalis form. And yeah, congratulations, thank goodness, because this was driving me crazy. Now, what's crazy is he ended up getting an increase in power somehow. You know, I thought they only increased the per se defense, but no, they give me a power boost. And this is where I was like, okay, this is how you do it. And all you have to do is, if you play it on retro arch, all you have to do is push spacebar, and then, you know, we're grinding through the little grass. And now, remind you, we did not go back for a rematch for the old boy with the little shorts. No, we did not. We said, you know what? We're going to evolve Brown into a Beedrill, because that's what he deserves. He deserves to be a Beedrill. And we're on that list. You know, he's shining bright with his black and yellow stripes. And you know what? It's time to go to the gym. So we decided to go to the gym, and we're going to solve this the easy way, because thankfully we have a water type, and the water type is going to mollywop all of these rock types easily. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All you got to do is fight these. Now, I know I figured out the speed run with this game, right? speeding it through. But I decided to slow it down because I do stream this. Follow me on Twitch. It is twitch.tv/xMrCazX. A little point down there. But anyways, we wanted to slow it down to get the real cinematic experience when we play this game. Because you know what? It's really cool. When we enter in that tiny little gym and that big atmosphere, you want to be impressed. You want to feel the gravity of this little tiny little thing called Squirtle, with a nickname under Blue, Mollylop. Destroy these ground and rock types with just a pure Wesk bubble beam right to the face. Do you know what's super effective? This bubble beam right to the face. There was no chance that Sandshrew could even get out of this ordinary little bubble beam. No sir, we got it through because Blue is on top. Now we gained the 219 XP points, grew into level 13, and we ended up learning Water Gun finally. Now the Water Gun, I don't know the stats because I'm not some crazy guru with all of these Pokemon stats, because you know, at the end of the day, I'm playing Pokemon just for the fun of it, you know, for the nostalgia, for the wide open fields. But you know, here we are. We learned Water Gun, and it's just in time because we gotta face Brock with his damn Onyx and all of his glory, because you know what they say about Rock. He's rock hard for his Pokemon paws. But anyways, yes, here he is. Look at that. This is my rock hard willpower. What the fuck do you mean, Brock? What are you talking about, your rock hard willpower paws? All his Pokemon are rock hard? We're gonna have to have an intervention with you, Brock, one day. But anyways, so here we are trying to complete the rest of this gym. And, you know, he says, fine, then let's get it done. Now, you know, playing this, I realized that I made the right choice. I completely forgot that, you know, rock type is weak against water type at the end of the day, you know. And yeah, even if you were picked Bulbasaur, you know, you would just mollywop this thing, man. You would have a little bit of difficulties with Charmander, but Charmander's strong as hell anyways. You can just throw Ember a bunch of times and you'll win the game anyways. So there we are. Finally beat it. It was easy, you know. Mollywop, Rock, you need an intervention really bad. But anyways, there we are. We have the Pokemon League Boulder Badge, and that was our first gym complete. Sign it off. Now, I decided to venture in a little bit further so we could do some grinding and go from there. So, you know, we went through the grass fields to get at least Blue to level 16 so we could evolve. But unfortunately, we had to continue with the damn game because somebody decided to have two Pokemon with the Ekans. But yeah, we ended up with the Water Gun a couple times and a Tackle. And yeah, he ended up killing it. And here we go. We have Wartortle finally. Now, Wartortle does not have the greatest move pool once he evolves, but I do like his design. So I watched one video saying that his design was whack, but I think his design is actually cool. And if you've actually stuck around this long in this video, please drop down your favorite Pokemon, or if Wartortle is an actual cool design, that'd be awesome for a comment. But anyways, yeah, we hit it at 3 hours and 25 minutes. Told you that grind for per se the Beedrill took us a minute, but hey, you know, we finally found that spacebar button to speed up the process. And we did a little bit of grinding in this grass because I wanted to get a little bit of a higher level before we entered that cave. Ended up being pretty low, but decided to just chug on some potions and go from there. Here we are into the cave. We just defeated the Team Rocket guy, and now we had to fight the Science guy. And even though this guy has a Grimer and some other crappy Pokemon, it was just easy to go through because, you know, fortunately, our Pokemon is, you know, a couple levels higher than his Pokemon. So, you know, this was nothing to sweat about, you know, the typical poison type and a random electric. Yeah, even though he got a poison, you know, I ended up getting an antidote later on, as you can see. But we ended up learning Bite, which I think this is the only dark type move he knows. I might actually keep it because it does have a stab effect. Now, like I said, all these extra bells and whistles for Pokemon mechanics, I don't know if it still applies for the old ones, but they definitely do for the new ones. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out which fossil I got. I ended up getting the Kabutops fossil. So anyways, fast forward, and here we are fighting our rival Ash. And, you know, I decided to flip the script because, you know, I am Mr. Kaz X. Also stream these videos on twitch.tv/X Mr. Kaz X if you want to drop in and watch them. But anyways, yeah, we decided to go with Brown, and I forgot that bug type was super disadvantage against flying type. So we got kind of lucky there because Pidgeotto was gonna like destroy that. Like if I was a little bit lower level, it probably would have one hit KO. But thankfully we got Mega Punch. And what was crazy is Mega Punch hit twice before the Pidgeot could do anything. So I was like, okay, hell yeah, win for Mach Punch. Or Mega Punch. And I decided to switch back out with Beedrill because, you know, Bulbasaur was going to kill him with that Vine Whip. So I hit with the Fury attack. I missed. And this asshole decides to hit me with the Sleep Powder and put my damn bug to sleep. Like, oh, man. I was so irritated. But, you know, I said, you know what? Screw it. I'll power through. Because there is a typing where Pokemons kind of wake up quicker if they have a certain personality. I don't know which one it was, but I think it's quirky, but I could be wrong. But I said screw it because that Leech Seed wasn't doing crap. We were doing more damage with Fury attack than the Leech Seed was doing. So I just kept spamming that, and eventually we ended up pulling through. We had two of them that ended up... See, like, look at that Vine Whip. That Vine Whip didn't do anything in that whole fucking game. So it was nice. So we ended up beating Bulbasaur and decided to get Sleep Powdered again before the Bulbasaur ended up getting collapsed into a Pokeball. But Ash decided to bring out an Abra, and the Abra just ended up trying to do teleport over and over again. And I was like, how do you put an Abra in the teleport? How do you put an Abra that only learns teleport? Like, what are you going to try to teleport out of the game? Anyways, easy mode, got him with a crit, which was my first crit. And like, I don't know how many Pokemon battles. It's like terrible. But anyways, the Rattata came through with 2 quick attacks. But I ended up getting a poison sting off and letting that shit ride out. Yeah, you got poison, Rattata. But yeah, he ended up hitting me with another quick attack, and down goes Brown. The Brown ended up fading away. But we still had Blue at a quarter health, so, you know, Rattata is not going to do anything, you know. So we hit it with the Mega Punch after he hits me with a quick attack, of course, but Mega Punch ended up pulling through, and boom, we finally beat our rival after losing from the first time. So we ended up doing some grinding a little bit through the road, but ended up beating Bill. It's actually a pinnacle moment, so we can get the SS ticket to progress later down in the story. So I ended up grinding a little bit some more, and that was actually the bad part because I forgot to get antidote because apparently we still see bug catchers and campers. And I ended up getting poisoned with Blue here, and Beedrill is almost dead. So it's like, okay, what the heck's going on here? We're gonna lose again. So I'm trying to precisely dodge everything, and then Blue fainted, and then what do you know, freaking camper comes out of nowhere, and Fury attack decides to only do 2 hits. So we end up losing to a Sparrow, and this is our 3rd loss. Embarrassing, right? But anyways, we heal it up, and that's kind of the end of I was just like, you know what, I'm done with the stream. I'm done with everything. But anyways, if you like this video, please leave a comment or a like, and also comment down what your favorite Pokemon is. Now, if you want to catch me on the stream, I am at twitch.tv/X Mr. Kaz X. I play daily at 12 p.m. to about 3 p.m. Mountain Time, and I would love to see you there. And always remember, stay beautiful, stay blessed, and have a great